Hi and welcome. My name is Isam. I'm the Senior Designer at ISD Architects, where we help people realizing their dream homes, dream businesses through designs that are optimized, that are efficient, and that are cost effective. In this video, we're going to continue on our series of the design process phases. In the last two videos, we spoke of the two first phases of any design process, namely the site analysis, where we analyze the site before we even start talking about the program, and the second phase that we talked about in the second video is the zoning review. So if you haven't seen those two videos, I really highly recommend that you go back and see them in order to get the information that are necessary to move on to the third and the rest of the phases. In this video, we're going to talk about the programming. Now, the programming has many terminologies, many names. You may hear the word functional program. You may hear the word design brief. You may hear the word facilities program. You may hear the word architecture program or the owner's statements of requirements document. All of these can lead to the same meaning, which is the functional program, the program of spaces and requirements that fulfill the needs of a client, the need of a certain design or a certain design problem. Now, one of the major elements of programming is to define the problem. Many people, and unfortunately, some of them are architects, miss or forget that the aim of the programming stage or phase is to define the problem. Why define the problem? We define the problem and we help the owner in that. And sometimes if the owner is familiar with the design process, sometimes they come up with their own design proposal or their own design statement of requirements. And we sit down together and we start to refine that and make it clearer and more defined and more specific. So why do we do that? Why it is important for us as architects, as designers, and home and and business owners to have a good program? The reason, as I said, is to well define the problem. Because as you know, defining the problem is half of the solution already. So without a defined problem, you will not be able to know what the problem is. Therefore, you would miss the solution eventually, or you will design something that hovers around the problem but really doesn't tackle it, doesn't answer to it. Now, the other aim of the functional program is to optimize the building size. So to reach a conclusion about all the spaces and the optimization of these spaces such that there is an optimization of the building size. We don't need extra areas that are unnecessary or do not help the functional program. Areas that would be filled later on with extra furniture that nobody uses. So optimization is another major important outcome of the functional program, in addition to defining the core problem. And I would say they are interrelated, these two issues, the definition of the problem as well as the optimization of the space. So optimization of the space will depend on mainly two factors: the number of people using the space actually, and as I said, prospecting how many people could be using that facility down the road, 5 to 10 years, or would there be any changes in the program or in the facility? The other thing is the nature of activity. What kind of activity is it, and how? What's the volume of that activity as well? From the discussions between the architect and the homeowner, a list of things that the architect would be able to do. First of all, develop floor areas for the design. Second, tackle the details of the space. Third, probably come up with a furniture layout or configuration, pretty much like when we design a restaurant. There are also the environmental criteria that the architect would be able to reach at once he or she has the functional program. And also there are security requirements, for example, in public facilities, in office buildings. I would like to show a sample of how the functional program could be useful as a first step to the schematic design, or as a first step to what we call at ISD Architects the conceptual design. How we come up from the programming into the conceptual design and not jump into the conceptual design without a solid base. So let's move here to see a bubble diagram of how these functions would be interrelated, as well as would be sized in order to express the certain size of the facility itself, or the utility itself. For example, this central area could be defined by a rectangle that expresses the square footage of that central area. And this could be any facility, any building typology. Could be a clinic, could be a library, could be an office building, but it also could be a house. So, for example, in this particular example, we are entering through a lobby. As you see, this arrow leads to a lobby, and from the lobby, that should be connected strongly here with a central filing and reception area. From that, and that rectangle expresses the area, and from that rectangle we can connect to the office manager, to the secretary, to exam rooms, for example, or individual studies if it was a library, to consultant number one, consultant or physician if it was a doctor's office, and to public washroom. Now the public washroom could be linked to the central area, or could be decided not to be linked, but to be linked to the lobby, and so on and so forth. So this is a very diagrammatic layout of the outcome of a functional program, that this can only be arrived at the very end of the programming or the functional program session with the owner and in close coordination with them. If you'd like ISD Architects to help you realizing a project that you have in mind or you're thinking of building, please go to our website, www.isdarchitects.com, and get some more information. And if you'd like to us to help you, we'd be more than pleased to do that. Until our next video, in which we're going to talk about the conceptual design phase, I wish you all the best in your future plans, and until then, take care.